Why, hello there, everybody, and welcome back to Misscliks D&D Devotion. So, you guys have your horses. You have all of your gear. Anything else you guys want before you take off? Last chance, leaving town.
Stats for the horses.
Oh, please roll me 3d8 for your horse's HP. It has 13 armor class, 24 movement rate.
Mm-hmm. You wanna roll it, Emma? Should we each do a d8? Oh no, you shouldn't.
No, just one person roll 3d8.
Never mind. I'll do it.
10 HP for Olivia and Kellen's horse. Kess and Ransom, please roll me 3d8.
Would you like to do the honors?
Sure. Roll 3d8.
12 HP for your horse. Fantastic. And you set out. So, where do you want to go? The Lost Coast, that's what it's called, right? Is the Shade Coast, there we go, is a pretty wide area. You know, it spans like 20-ish miles, top to bottom. So, there's a lot going on here. Where would you like to, in which direction would you like to go?
West.
I think we'll
A little more
head to
specific
the
than that,
south
please.
side of the forest, and then head up north from there.
Okay. So you set off on your journey, and let's roll our checks. Oh, excellent. So, you go for a few hours that first day until you're fairly far away from Sandashar, when you see in the distance, lumbering towards you, the strangest natural creature you've ever seen. It's this large, quadruped, muscular creature with this kind of grayish hide and this huge horn coming off of its nose. None of you have ever seen a rhinoceros before. So this thing lumbering in your direction is a strange sight.
Is that a unicorn?
It's like a really big gray unicorn.
Wow, I guess they are real. I'll have my glaive out pointing towards it in case it comes at us.
It's just kind of wandering by itself, grazing on some grass, but it is directly in your path.
Should probably just walk around the unicorn. Like, what do we know of unicorns, Neil?
Well, they're magical horse-like creatures that are very good. They're intelligent. They might speak or they might not speak, depending on the legends that you hear, but they're always of pure heart and have various magical abilities that they will aid those they deem worthy with, but they're also elusive and don't like to interact with people.
Well,
We should totally try to talk to it. Maybe it will bless us.
should be careful not to scare it, though.
Right, you're good with animals, Kess. That looks like you should be quite the steed.
I have like the biggest grin on my face seeing the unicorn, and I immediately get off the horse and I just kind of slowly walk over to it, and then I stop and then look at it and see if it like notices me.
Oh yeah, it stopped grazing, and it's doing the like kind of looking away from you, but its one eye is facing at you, sort of thing. It's definitely eyeing you.
And make sure to stay close enough that I can stab the thing if it attacks.
So you're following her pretty closely then?
Yeah, about 10 feet.
I turn around and then I just kind of halt him, like, and I say no. And then I turn around and I walk forward just a little bit, and then I try to reach out to the animal in my mind to see if it like will talk to me.
All right. What are you saying by when you reach out with your mind?
I just say that mean you no harm and hello, like a greeting. I do like a nice elvish greeting.
It doesn't seem to say anything back to you. Just kind of looks at you. And then slowly starts moving in your direction, plodding one massive foot in front of the other.
I walk slowly to it, and then when I get closer to it, I go ahead and bow. Like, I kneel down on my knee and kind of bow to my animal.
Unicorn.
Okay. What is your charisma score? Under charisma score, there should be a reaction adjust. Do you have anything listed under your reaction adjust?
I don't have that. Let's see.
It should be on like the second or third thing to the right of your charisma. The
I
first
know, I have
page.
to- Hold on a sec, sorry.
I love the background music that's just like sweet little birds chirping. Oh, unicorn.
I don't think I do,
hearing
but I don't have a problem pulling it up on here.
Do you remember what your charisma score is?
It's a 15.
I can just look it up manually.
Okay, sorry.
15 charisma. Reaction adjust of 3.
Oh, okay.
It's quite nice. The creature comes a little bit closer forward and puts his head down and starts grazing on a different sort of plant nearby. You're maybe 10 feet from it right now. It hasn't said anything to you or tried to communicate with you at all, other than just being aware of you and generally moving in your direction.
Okay. Well, you go ahead and get back up, and then, do I know what unicorns like? Anything? I
This
guess.
definitely isn't a unicorn. Unicorns are more horse-like. This has like thick, tough gray hide, and it's not very horse-like. It's got this big head that kind of, on this really thick neck, and it doesn't. The neck isn't very long, but it's really thick. It doesn't hold its head up like a horse would. It kind of dips, and the jaw is too big. It's definitely not a horse. It's definitely not a unicorn. But it is some sort of weird one-horned... Wait a minute, there's a second little horn behind that first big horn. What's going on here? It's got 2 horns. And a weird tail.
Maybe it was deformed at birth.
I look back and I kind of quietly mention, because I think Kellen can hear me from afar, being else and stuff. So I just say, "Oh, it's not a unicorn. It's something else."
It is. Well, then be careful.
I like the chat. Less majestic, more potato.
Angry potato.
Pointy.
I go ahead and I kind of bow to it, and then I like kind of just slowly back away.
Okay. It seems fairly content to ignore you until you get back to Ransom and your horse.
All right.
So, did you
well,
get
let's
blessed
make
by
a
the
wide
unicorn?
berth.
Oh, well, it wasn't a unicorn. I don't know what it was. It has a horn, and it had a little horn behind that horn, and it did not look quite like a unicorn.
A
Maybe
spike
it's a-
beast.
Maybe it's a binicorn.
Ah, yes,
Call
a
it
bicorn.
bifat.
A double acorn.
A
It doesn't look
bifat
like
seems
one,
good
though.
since it is clearly more rotund than the usual unicorn.
That probably means it's slow.
Yeah. You can see how it very peacefully and slowly grazes at all the grass.
It must be a friendly creature, this bicorn.
I don't know. It wouldn't communicate with me.
Well, it does eat grass, so it's probably nice, like... They're usually peaceful, the grass eaters.
But that horn looks like a deadly weapon if it were to use it. So let's
Maybe it's just to, chop down trees or something and get the leaves more easily.
let's take a wide berth around it and move on.
Alright, you're the safety expert.
Okay. You guys move on. And a few hours later, well, many hours later, you arrive at the coast. With the horses, you can move much, much faster than normal, even though the horses are slightly encumbered with all of your added weight together. But you make it there in enough time that you're there by sundown. Right on the edge of the coast.
Let's make some camp.
Kind of start shouting, hey, we're looking to join an orc band. Any orc bands out there?
Oh yeah, I love orc bands. I like to join them.
Just the trees. Silence.
Well, let's set up camp and we'll search this place for a band of orcs.
Okay. You guys set up camp. It's a quick process. And anything are you gonna do that tomorrow? Or are you gonna do that today?
And tomorrow,
for the
since
camp?
dark.
Yeah, we look tomorrow.
You settle down for the night.
We should probably do rounds tonight.
Yeah, Kess and Kellen, since you're both elves, you have it, right? Is that how we usually do it?
We still have to sleep, right?
Yeah, you still have to sleep. Elves don't have any like special things in second
Yeah.
edition. They sleep like normal people.
Oh, I see.
Yeah. So everyone can take a shift. What is the order of your shifts?
I think Ransom should go first in case we were noticed. Then I'll go, and then the girls.
Okay. All right, so everyone beds down to go to sleep. Ransom, your watch is up first. What do you do, out of curiosity, during your watch? Aside
Stare at the
watching.
forest. Oh, it's a mix between staring at the forest and then every so often staring at Kess.
While she sleeps?
Yep.
Oh, how does she look when she sleeps? Is she a messy sleeper, a gentle sleeper? Does she snore?
I think she looks very serene tonight in the moonlight.
Aww.
It makes me think about how I, of all people, was so lucky.
Oh, it's very sweet.
I like to think Olivia is a really slobbery sleeper.
I think so too. I think so too.
Mm-hmm. So you're watching the forest and watching your girl and then watching the woods again when you see dark shapes emerging from the woods. There are many of them. They're fairly low to the ground, so it's hard to get an exact count, but there's at least 4.
Do they look like they could be humanoids, or are they?
They could be humanoids kind of crouched low to the high grass, moving around, or they could be dogs, large dogs. Maybe.
Okay, I'll go and nudge Kellen up, since he's next up on lunch anyways. Hey, there's things coming at us.
We need to wake the others.
I'm sure we could take them. Well, we'll see if it's actually a problem.
How many are there?
You look out. Give me a perception check, both of you, to see if you can get an exact head count. Oh, there you go, Ransom. They're beginning to split up into 2 groups of 3 each.
I don't like those odds. I think we should wake up the others.
Okay.
I wake them up.
Everyone's awake. These creatures, it's hard to tell quite how far they were. You think you camped about a mile from the woods, and they've been coming towards you. The 2 sides now split, one going to your left and one going to your right.
I'm assuming we have full, like, as if we had a long rest, right? Since last time.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Everyone stay on guard. Maybe they're just some curious folks in the forest.
Yeah, stay near me and stay near the fire, I say as I start placing caltrops in the space in front of me. And the spaces in front of
Are
me.
there trees?
No, you guys are camped out in the plain near the forest, so it's just a big grassland around you.
Okay. You know what? I'm gonna cast Wyvern Watch around this.
Nice.
Okay. So you cast Wyvern Watch. Ransom starts setting down caltrops around you guys. Go. And these creatures continue to approach you. They continue to get closer and closer, and eventually, Olivia, you've dealt with a lot of orcs or half orcs in your time, and you recognize these are definitely orcs. This looks like an orc raiding band.
Oh, then I'll be like, who goes there in Orcish?
Okay.
What do you want? Stand aside, for I am Olivia, friend of the orcs. Really good friends, if you know what I mean. Like, you know, we had a really good time once with one of them.
The call comes back out towards you. Friend of the orcs.
Yeah, you know Grash? He's kind of from far away, but he was an orc.
Well, why don't you put down any weapons you might be holding? Talk to us peaceably, like.
Yeah, put down your weapons too. I drop my weapons
Okay.
on the ground.
The orc
I'll tell
sets
my
down his and.
Yeah, I'll tell my non-orcish speaking friends to drop their weapons too.
The one orc puts his weapons down, puts his hands in the air, and starts approaching you. This is one of the lefter orcs.
Be careful! I may have set up some protection for us in case you guys are harmful. My friends were kind of scared here.
So he comes about halfway. Let's say the orcs were 100 yards or 100 meters from you. So he comes about 50% of the way. And kind of waits as if he's waiting for you to come out and meet him as well.
Yeah. Okay, I'll go right up to the limit of Wyvern Watch.
Wyvern Watch is a pretty small area of effect, isn't it?
Like 10 feet radius or something.
Yeah, so you take like one step forward. He's standing out there waiting for you.
I thought that. Wait. I'll cast one more thing. Wait. Is it Withdraw? Was that what I wanted? Is that the spell which I think it is?
I don't know what you're talking about.
A
A withdraw?
No, it's not Withdraw. Like the spell, like I know I have it. I'm trying to find the name.
Expeditious
the spell
retreat?
where, like, I can't attack, but people can't really attack me.
Sanctuary?
Sanctuary? Ah, yeah, Sanctuary. Okay.
You have that memorized for today?
Mm-hmm.
She says, memorizing it right now.
Yes, but I'll make my whole list right now if you want. It's gonna be interesting, Sanctuary, I feel. We'll never use it. It's the underused, underappreciated spell. And it may not work, actually. So.
But we're going to have to start having you write out your spell list ahead of time from here on out.
Okay.
Okay.
I'll still take out a level 1 spell, so that's fair.
Alright.
Sanctuary. I got Sanctuary on me and then I go.
Okay. So you approach the gentleman, the orc, while he's out there. He stands, he's got both his hands still up, and the full light of the full moon, he's fairly easy to see. And he looks at you as you get close and goes, "You don't look like anyone I know. What are you doing near our woods?"
Oh, it's your woods.
That's right.
Oh.
He gives
you
a
guys
belch.
all live here?
Sort of stupid question is that?
I guess it's your woods, right? And I guess...
What are you
Can we-
doing out here? You coming for the bounty on our heads?
We didn't even know there was a bounty on your head.
Well, then what are you doing here?
Well, we're going westward to... What was the name of the place? Are we actually right in the place where we wanted to be
The
now?
Shade Coast is the trees that he came out of.
Oh. Do I know of a place right after that?
The ocean.
Like more? We're going to the ocean!
And
yeah,
you just
but I just wanted
happen
to go on a vacay.
and you just happen to walk right up to our lands.
Yeah, well, it seemed like the fastest way to get to the ocean.
Where are you coming from, human?
We come from... What's the name of the town we were just in, guys? Sandashar?
Akuba.
Sandashar.
Sandashar's on the ocean.
Well, we wanted to get to the other part of the ocean.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I mean, if you don't believe me, like...
I don't believe you in the slightest.
I start backing towards my little...
He starts walking towards you
my
at the
iron watch.
same pace that you back up.
Yeah.
So tell me, little missy, what are you really doing here?
I'll tell you. We heard of the magic strings of Winston the Bard, and we were curious as to what happened to him. As I keep backing towards my spell. Wyvern Watch.
That is his name, Winston.
Is he still alive?
Oh, definitely. Can't get rid of a talented musician like that.
You like music?
Who doesn't like music?
Well, I have a band right here with me, actually. They're
Oh,
a
no.
great band of elves. They're called Kiss and Kellen.
Oh no.
A band of elves? You don't say. Why don't
Yeah.
you get them to play a little something for us? And if we like it, we'll let you go.
That sounds like a fair deal. Gather up around the Wyvern Watch.
He gives a shout out at the maximum extent of his vocal capabilities to all of his friends that gather close, they're going to play a song for us. And all the orcs kind of move in until they're all about 10 yards away from you guys, who I think are all huddled together in this like smoke-filled area of the Wyvern Watch AoE.
I tell you guys, okay, so guys, these orcs won't attack us if we play them a nice song. They're really big fans of music, and right now they're keeping Winston with them so that he can play music for them. It's like, I think you guys should sing them a song.
I do not like music slavery. I cannot support what they're doing to Winston.
Just a little song while I prepare something else.
For you, babe, I'll play anytime, but I'm not playing for them, just so it's clear.
Alright.
Alright, I call this one You Better Orc. And it goes like this. You're an orc, 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 orc. Babe, you got a orc, 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 orc. Yeah, you got a orc, 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 orc. And that just goes on for a really long time.
Give me a musical proficiency check there, Kellen, at like -3.
Why -3?
Because your lyrics are all orc, 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 and
That's
it sounds
a
kind
pop
of...
No, there were a couple different ones in there. It was fitting for this situation.
They don't speak
Neil.
common, so they just hear you going orc, 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 orc at them, and it sounds like you're making piggy
Hey,
sounds at
I
them.
can't help it that popular music likes repetition, okay?
Look, I'm just saying the orcs think you're making fun of them going oink, 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 because they don't speak common. So, -3 on that check, please.
Aww.
Neil doesn't understand true artistry, guys.
No.
Stop
I'm
delaying
trying to-
the inevitable.
I'm trying to find my music proficiency. It's Dex, right?
It's charisma.
Yeah, well, that's what I meant.
Oh.
-3.
So that's a 23. So
Not bad.
you give a little song, and the orcs kind of nod their head, and the lead one barks back at you, Olivia. I thought you said they both played. Make the other one sing and dance for us.
Yes, you have to play too. The orcs want you to perform. We have to be in their good graces. You don't want to perform for the orcs? You want
Cass?
to fight the orcs.
Head.
Nice.
Well, you brought your ocarina with you?
I'm impressed. That was beautiful.
I'm so inspired. Like, I've never heard something like that in my entire life. It was beautiful.
Go ahead and make me a performance check there.
Quite the original piece.
I think. It's charisma, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. It's a pretty good performance. After you're done, the orc calls back out to Olivia. There was no singing or dancing in that one. Looks like I'm going to have to take you all with us. He gives a
You know, when I do my ocarina, I do twirl.
he and his buddies move in for the attack.
They didn't really care.
And I would like you all to roll me initiative.
They're about to get wyverned.
Yeah.
Wait, were they holding their weapons still?
They are drawing their weapons and moving into attack.
Okay.
You notice that 2 of them are armed with large nets. Here.
Now I'll send you my spell list, but it's pretty standard.
Okay, 11 out of Ransom, 3 out of Anna, Kess and Olivia.
1 second.
I remembered to roll a d10 this time. I'm really proud of myself.
Well done.
Thanks.
Another 11, and Jen.
Well, I don't want to break my withdraw spell, so I can do healing with it, right?
Yep.
And I can do aid, or is aid not?
Anything that's not offensive.
Okay, then I'll do aid then. So let me check. Aid. It's 5.
The caltrops are placed in such a way that it's obvious, but it kind of funnels them in, like, to make sure it blocks off a little bit of their attack so that they have to come at me.
I gotcha.
Or they can go.
Okay. 13 for you. All right, so the first ones go at... I guess Anna is very first. What are you doing?
That was a throwing dagger.
Ooh, nice. Give me a
I
roll to
throw it.
hit. Throw it dagger style.
Well,
12 lands in an orc. An unarmored orc. Roll me some damage.
just re-checking what my damage is. Okay. I don't hurt real bad.
Mm-mm.
Just a little poke.
You poke the orc, who grunts but doesn't seem to be too bothered by it. Alright, so the first of the guys with nets show up and tosses his net at the cluster of you. Now, you guys are all fairly kind of cramped together. So he tosses it at... I guess it doesn't really matter which one of you. Let's roll a d4. You're all kind of the subject of his attack. 1, 2 is Kellen. Ooh, natural 20. The net lands right over Kellen. It's got weights and barbs on it, so it kind of clings to your armor, and the weights pull it all the way down to the ground around you. You are captured by the net. Loops the trail around the rope. This requires another attack roll. That's in the next round. Okay. If the victim is trapped, he can only break free by making a strength check. So you will need a strength check to get out of the net, Kellen. The second orc comes with his net and hurls it at... 2 is Kess. And a 16. Wow, I think that's a hit on you as well. So a net falls over Kellen and a net falls over Kess. The 2 elves are trapped by the orcs' nets. Those guys are gone, and the next ones go after Ransom. Your turn. Ransom and V, your turns.
So I just roll strength check to get out, right?
Right. 21 or higher is the object. Ooh,
yeah.
So close. But not quite. You are trapped still by the net.
Wait, you said 21 or over.
Yeah.
I got a 22.
I see a 20 on roll 20. 16 plus 4?
Never mind, I had it scrolled up.
Nice. Ransom.
I got my glaive pointed towards them. Just you! Don't you dare come any closer.
He laughs you off as he approaches with his battle axe, taking care to step around the caltrops glinting in the moonlight, coming right for you. Will provoke an attack of opportunity as he enters within your range, and then you're ready to attack as well. 17 is a hit.
Let's see, 1d10. Did that reaction sound like he knew common?
Nope.
Okay.
5 points of damage, wounds, but does not kill him, and then you get your ready to attack as well.
There we go.
Oh, wait, I'm looking at the wrong... No, I'm looking at the right page. 7 is a miss. The orc steps forward against you and swings his battle axe for a natural 18. What is your armor class?
15.
Ooh, a hit, but no crit.
Phew.
The axe sinks into your shoulder for a whopping 4 points of damage.
That's like... Did he ever cross the Wyvern Watch, or...?
Ooh, I forgot about Wyvern Watch, to be honest. So, you guys are all inside the Wyvern Watch. It has a 10-foot radius. So, I guess if you guys are all backed into the center of it, he would have had to walk in and take a Wyvern Watch attack. So let me give him a save versus spell. No, he passed his save, so that's fine. The second orc comes in, charging from the other side, completely missing the caltrops and making a save, failing a save, steps on them. How much damage does he take for stepping on caltrops?
1.
1?
It's always 1, I believe.
Okay. Then he makes a save to avoid being slowed by it. Yeah. Okay. Saving throw to avoid being slowed. No. He starts hopping around, screaming out in Orcish. Olivia, you understand him saying, "These assholes laid caltrops everywhere! Who the hell carries caltrops? What the hell is wrong with these people?"
We didn't put any caltrops. What are you talking about?
It's your turn, Olivia.
So I'm gonna cast Aid on Ransom.
Okay.
I sent you my spell list, by the way.
Excellent. So Aid gives him, what, D8 temporary HP?
Yeah, and +1 to hit, I think.
Excellent. And on his
All right.
saves. Roll the temp HP.
Yeah, I'm trying to find 8 to make sure that everything is there. Does D8?
D8. Mhm.
So, 4.
4 temporary HP, which go away first. The other 4 orcs all close in. 3 of the other orcs close in for the attack. The one that was talking doesn't come in. 2 of them are going to have to make saves versus the caltrops. They both fail. They are both badly wounded by them. Or, injured by them, so they have to go much more slowly. They spend the rest of the round pulling these things out of their feet while howling in pain. The other one comes up towards Ransom, following the path of the first orc, stepping into the Wyvern Watch, passing his saving throw versus spell, and taking a stab. Oh, and Ransom, you get an attack of opportunity as he
I'll
comes
stab
in.
him as he comes in.
14's a hit. 8 points of damage actually brings him to his death. He's gone.
Ah.
And Kellen, you would get a second attack, except you're trapped by the net, so no second attack for you. Next round. Roll me initiative, please, ladies and gentlemen.
So nobody got hurt so far, right?
No one in the party.
Well, I mean, I've gotten hit, yes.
Ah.
You aided me, though.
Yes. Okay, 11, 5. 2 more initiatives.
Oh, can I? What would I roll to try to free my friends from the nets?
3.
That's not an offensive action, right?
Nope, it's fine.
Deal.
All right. So, V, you are first. You can make another strength attack attempt. There you go. You free yourself from the net. Anna, you turn. Same thing?
Can I get an attack? Right
No,
now?
it's your whole turn to get out of this damned
Okay.
net. Oh, beautiful. You escape from the net as well.
Heck yeah.
The two orcs, one of the orcs against Ransom takes a swing with another 18 to hit you,
Ouch.
doing 6 points of damage to Ransom. And the two orcs that were getting caltrops out of their feet actually probably still have to do this round because they were throwing nets at the beginning of last round.
So nobody got Wyvern watched at all?
Well, only one orc has entered the area of Wyvern Watch and survived. Yeah. Who's up next? It looks like Ransom and Olivia are next.
Okay, I'll stab at the wounded one that was in front of me.
Hit. And dead.
Ah.
Alright. Olivia, your turn. But your friends are all out of their nets,
Yeah.
so they don't really need your help.
I give them a good rub on the shoulders and I'm like, you guys can do it! Attract them towards the Wyvern!
The one who was yelling at you before and negotiating with you calls you out. You dirty, stinky, oily little creatures! Those are my friends! He pulls a crossbow from behind him that was strapped over his shoulder and takes a shot at Ransom. For a 7. It clatters off of your armor and falls to the ground at your feet as he reloads, and we roll initiative.
Is it the last guy?
No, there are 4 orcs remaining. 2 of them were getting things out of their feet. The other 2 haven't closed because of caltrops and fear of them.
Oh, dang. My initiative has been good the last couple times.
Yeah, you're on point. Do 8-4. Keston Olivia.
Well, no.
All right.
Okay.
V goes first.
Okay. All right. I go ahead and. Oh, I do nothing.
Nope. That was an attack with a sigh.
Yeah.
All right, so to do that, you step out of the Wyvern Watch area and move over towards the orcs with a swing and a miss. Okay, who's up next? Anna is up next.
Are any of them now in melee range of me?
Nope, but one of them's in melee range of your sister.
I throw a dagger at that one.
Go for it. Roll the hit. Hit! No crit, but definitely a hit.
Okay. And that was not a throwing dagger because it was not far away to need a throwing dagger. That was a normal dagger, so it's a d4.
Ooh, 3 points of damage actually drops the orc to the ground.
Poke. Haha.
Right. The orcs' turn. They're down to 3. They're not too pleased about this exchange. They all take a half move back and use their added crossbows to try and pelt down Kess, who's in the front. 3 attacks at you, Kess. A 5, an 11, and a natural 20. What is your armor class, please?
I believe it's a 13.
Ooh, he criticals you. And minimum damage. You take 4 points
Actually,
from a...
no. Sorry. Go ahead.
You take 4 points of damage as the crossbow does the weakest critical it can ever do, wounding you slightly. The orcs begin to fall back, doing half moves in the darkness towards the forest line. Remaining of the party.
Let's chase them down. We need to find where they are camping at to find the guy. Winston.
Right. Well, it's your turn. What do you do?
I start moving towards them.
Do you move as far towards them as possible? Can I get a little more information on how you're doing this?
I wouldn't try to get too much away from the party, but like I don't know, between the location of the party and the location of the orcs, basically.
That is not helpful in the slightest.
No, I meant like in the middle, like straight in between in terms of distance.
Okay. And Ransom?
Kind of like Jen, I'm having a tough time picturing. So I guess I will... So if I think there's going to be people coming towards our group, then I'll stay around.
Okay. So if you move over towards the red desert area... Let me just drag you guys here. So the party has kind of been camped in this square with the tree line over here. And we had 2 groups of orcs that came doing this and this. And they were 3 and 3. These 2 came in and died to Ransom's stabbing. This one died to Kellen's throwing. And the remaining 3 are now heading back in this direction while shooting with crossbows at you. If that makes sense.
Okay, yeah, I'll just go ahead and charge the remaining guy up top then.
All right. Give me a roll to hit with plus
Try
2
to run
for
him over
charge.
with the glaive.
17 is a hit. 9 damage brings the orc to the ground. Gives a grunt and a splat. We can roll initiative for the next round, but the other 2 are making a break for it, seeing Ransom charge after them.
Do I get my second hit?
There were no ones close enough for you to make a second stab, because they... what's her name? Killed the one in front of you.
Okay.
Damn. It's like your 3rd one in a row.
I'm fast.
Maybe not.
Oh, we have our horses! Get on the horse to chase them down! Come pick me up, babe!
I give her a boost.
The 2 of you hop onto your horse as the orcs break for the tree line. It's about a mile away, and there's only 2 of them, so you're probably going to be able to chase them down pretty easily. Ransom and Cass, what are you guys doing?
I chase him down on foot.
All right.
Chase him down.
All right. So you guys are running after the orcs. They're running away. We're not going to bother with the initiative rolls here because Kellen and Olivia come up behind them on horseback. Kellen in front, Olivia behind. What are you doing as you ride?
As we're riding, I ask Olivia, like, are you just trying to run them down, or are we supposed to ask them questions? We need to take them alive, right?
I think we should run one down and keep one to question.
Whatever you say, babe.
Let's go!
Okay. Your riding horse is not meant for battle, so I'm going to need one of you guys to make me a horseback riding proficiency check to get him to ride it down.
But
Probably-
I do have a proficiency, Neil.
Okay, well, Kellen is riding in front. Kellen, do you have a horseback riding proficiency?
Let me check. I have animal handling, but not
Okay.
horseback.
So it's going to be a wisdom check at -2.
Crappity.
That's not good.
I should have been the one. Next time we'll know, babe.
That's terrible. Your horse
That's
doesn't want to
supposed
run.
that was supposed to be +7, so
Okay.
it should be 12.
All right, it's still not enough. Your horse doesn't want to run down the orc. It's a normal riding horse. It's not ready for this. It's not meant to ride people down. This is scary. That's an obstacle in its way. What the hell? It just veers to the left, refusing to ride down the orc.
Can I, like, take out my bow and arrow and, like, shoot them?
If it's a short bow, you may.
I do have a short bow. That is exactly what I have.
Excellent.
Okay.
Go ahead and make us a roll to hit. I guess at -2 because the horse is in motion. So that's a 16, which is a hit.
Is it long range or short range?
Short
I guess-
range.
So it's broadhead?
Yep. 4 points of damage brings the orc to the ground. He topples as he runs. And now it's just the one who is making his way towards the forest, but it's still really far off. By the
Surrender now! We'll leave you alive if you cooperate. I say in Orcish.
He slows to a stop, drops his axe, puts his hands in the air.
Nice.
And why don't we go to our last break? We'll come back on the other side with some more tales about Old Winston. Bye.